my daughter and her family come over to the house and get away here, and for supper. Us folks in the South, we call it supper. Y'all up north, y'all call it dinner. And so we're sitting at the dinner table, supper table, and everybody started serving their plate, and our grandson Wyatt, well, he started chowing down, started eating, and his mother said, Wyatt said, we had to say the blessing. No, we don't have to. She said, yeah, we do too. Said, you know, we always say the blessing at home before we eat. He said, but we're at Mama's house and she knows how to cook. All right, we'll get back with you.